Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for coming back. My name is Chris here with another group of battles from Clash Royale. I know I don't have a huge fan group yet, but I intend to by posting every day, and I didn't post a video yesterday. I apologize, some stuff came up. But here we go, we're back on track. I recorded these videos live yesterday, and since it was yesterday and I've played a bunch of games since then, I totally forget what happens. So I think I try and go through and battle with a couple different decks. So it looks like I start with the skeleton deck, which is a deck that I have a ton of fun with, and just I don't think is very good. It gets destroyed by flying units, so I had to throw the arrows in there, or else I would get absolutely massacred by minions and minion horde. The only other thing that can shoot at air troops in this whole deck is the witch, and she does like a tiny bit of splash damage to all of them. So that's just, yeah, it's just not very balanced. So oh, here's another card that absolutely destroys the skeleton deck, is the bombers. So I laugh because every troop that I have is a skeleton, which gets absolutely whacked by that bomber tower, and it's going to be really bad. So here comes a hog rider, and a hog rider is going to mess me up a little bit. So I dropped the skeleton bomber in the back to try and help take care of it, and the musketeer with the wizard take care of my minion horde, yeah, my skeleton army. And the bomber tower just takes out everything on the bridge, but we sit back at kind of neutral here. After that mass exchange of skeletons and wizards and all this craziness, I only took a little bit of damage to my tower, and I took a lot of health off of the bomber tower. Well, I guess I didn't, but just the timer did. So I'm waiting for that bomber tower to go away. So I dropped the giant skeleton in the back because I know the bomber tower is going to go explode, and there it goes, but he just plants another one, so that's not good. My plan here is to keep this push going on the right with the little skeletons and take out that bomber with the balloon. So the balloon sneaks in there, takes out the bomber tower, so now at least my troops have a chance. But the barbarians absolutely handle with ease that giant skeleton. So now he starts a little push on the right with the hog and the musketeer. So the skeleton army does pretty well against them, and somehow my witch snuck over there on the right hand side and got a few hits off on that tower. She doesn't do a heck of a lot of damage. Now I drop off that collector. That was a terrible play on my part. I have no elixir right now, which is not great. I knew we were going into double elixir, so it wouldn't hurt me that badly, but don't mimic what I just did there. If you don't have any elixir, don't play the elixir collector, because if it's gonna leave you with nothing. I had 5 and I dropped it and I left me with no elixir, so that wasn't a great play. There I mirror the giant skeletons, which is hilarious. So there's a ton of HP now walking on his side. The bomber tower and the barbarians handle it with great ease, but I know the bomber tower is going down, so I dropped the balloon to try and sneak in there, but the musketeer and his wizard absolutely demolish that. So there goes that plan, and now they're helping out on offense, and the hog rider sneaks in there, goes right over to my collector and whacks that thing down. My giant skeleton goes down, but also takes down the musketeer and the wizard, so that's good. Now I have to worry about these barbarians and that offensive bomber tower. So I thought about planting a balloon there to take out the bomber tower, and I'm still thinking about doing it, but I had to play a couple witches first to defend my side against these barbarians. The barbarians get to my tower, they do a bunch of shots of damage to it, and now the giant skeleton is behind 2 witches. The 2 witches are doing some work. There goes the bomber tower. Really, I can't get anywhere near his side with that bomber tower. I don't have anything to fly over. Well, I have the balloon to fly over it, but if the bomber tower's up, the balloon's not going to do any good. It's just going to go right to it. So I try to protect my witch with a skeleton army, and I think she gets shot down. Yep, she gets shot down by the musketeer. The wizard is going to handle with great ease that skeleton army. With only 15 seconds left in overtime, there's really no chance of either of us winning. And hog rider goes right to that elixir collector. That is where you put the elixir collector, guys, in front, and this is exactly why. I didn't have a ton of elixir to defend my side against that Hog Rider, but he went right after the elixir collector. I would rather the elixir collector take hits than my tower. So if you play it in the back, it won't take any hits, it won't distract the Hog Rider. But out front like that, it distracts the Hog. And so that's where it belongs. If you guys play the elixir collector and you're not putting it in the back there, start doing that and you'll have a lot more success. Hopefully. It'll help distract your opponent's attacking units and give you some extra time to collect your thoughts and figure out how you're going to defend. So looks like here we started another game, but I switched to the deck that I've been using, like my main deck. And he drops the mini P.E.K.K.A. And you see how I dropped those spear goblins in the middle there? So against the mini P.E.K.K.A. and the prince, that's kind of where you want to drop your troops to defend, because it draws them away from your tower. They have to run from the lane to the middle, and then if they take out your spear goblins, they have to run back from the middle lane all the way back to your tower. And in the meantime, your crown towers are shooting at them and doing a whole bunch of damage. So in the meantime, while I was chatting, I had to take out a bunch of his stuff. He has a princess and an ice wizard. I'm finding that a lot up here. I cannot play anybody that isn't either a level above me or has a legendary card, and I don't. So yeah, that mini P.E.K.K.A. did a ton of damage to my tower. The mini P.E.K.K.A. is a great card. I just let it go unchecked there, and it did a whole bunch of damage to my tower. But I dropped the barbarians to defend against the princess, and he's out of elixir, I guess, because all he has is that musketeer. The musketeer doesn't defend super well against the barbarians, and they get in there and take down a tower. So now here I go into defensive mode. So I put down my Inferno tower, and I let the musketeer get way too far into my base, and she gets a few shots off on my tower. Not a huge deal. I am still up 1-0, so time to play defensively. Now that prince is going to give me a hard time. I don't have anything tiny to drop in front of it. So I dropped the poison spell just to get it out of my hand, because I knew up next I have the spear goblins. Spear goblins down right in the middle. See what I'm talking about, guys? They distracted both of those big units from the lane into the middle, and if they had survived, they would have had to run from the middle back outside to the lanes before they could attack. So that's how you defend a little better against like mini P.E.K.K.A.s and not giants, because they don't go after troops. Princes, thank you. I wish I could talk. That would be really helpful for making videos if I could talk. So he dropped all of his elixir with that prince and the P.E.K.K.A. and a bunch of little stuff that came over to my side. So I dropped my balloon with the barbarians on the left and go take out that tower. So it wasn't a huge deal that my tower on the left went down, because I have 2, now it's 2-1. That prince gets very easily countered with the barbarians, and mini P.E.K.K.A. is coming in, gonna smack those barbarians around a little bit, but the Inferno tower does a good job of cleaning them up. And since he is attacking me with that Hog Rider, I figured I would just kind of go in for the kill. He's using his last elixir to attack me, and so I can use a little bit of elixir to attack him, especially if while I'm attacking him, I'm just going to get the win if his tower goes down. So that was an interesting little offensive push there. If you have 2 towers left and he only has his king tower, it's okay sometimes while they're dropping all of their elixir to attack your last crown tower to go for the king tower. As soon as you get the king tower down, boom, game over. So even if they get your crown tower while you're going for the king tower, as long as you get the king tower, then it's fine, because the game is over. If you're ever going to push for that 3rd crown, make sure you get it. Make sure you have 10 elixir in your arsenal ready to go. Drop your cards and make sure you get it. If you go for that 3 crown, unless you're sure that you can get it, please don't go for it. It's cost me many times trying to go for the 3 crown and not getting that king tower, and then getting run over by my opponent's attack. So there I was confident that I could get the 3 crown, and I went for it, and it pays off. So that was that's my deck, the one I've been using, and here's the skeleton deck, and oh my goodness, we are playing on mortar. Oh great, I love playing mortars, and I'm gonna try not to complain about it. It's like it is part of the game, and everybody knows that everyone else hates the mortar unless you're using it. Oh my goodness, what an annoyance the mortar is. So there, I drop a balloon on it to to make sure it gets taken out, and it only got a couple shots off on my tower, so I'm okay. I dropped the elixir collector in the middle, so it plays defensive. Now he's got a couple of little squishies coming to my side, and he shoots a rocket over to my side. Guys, oh my goodness. These decks, these mortar decks, are so annoying to play against. Defenses and rockets and fireballs and arrows. Look at this craziness. So he did just drop rocket and arrows, so I know he's a little low on elixir, but I saved my balloon because I knew his mortar was back up, and I wanted to drop my balloon, not at his tower, but on this mortar. So his mortar goes down, it only gets one shot off, and my balloon takes it out. When you're playing against the mortar guys, you have to play a little more defensively. You have to be ready for when they drop that mortar, and you have to be ready to take it out. So there, I saved my balloon from being an offensive card to being defensive there, because it took out the mortar. So now I play my elixir collector defensively again. I'm gonna let those archers kind of run at me, but now he drops a spear goblin, so I kind of have to do something about that. Witch in the back will easily take out this little squishy push he's got coming on. He drops the Inferno Tower, so I'm gonna try and drop my skeleton army. I guess not. The skeleton army defends really well against the Inferno Tower. If you can surround your troops with the skeleton army, then it protects your units against the Inferno Tower. But I saved it because I knew he was going to drop down the mortar again. See, now looking back a day before, I'm like, you know, I played this game yesterday, and I was like, wow, that's actually a good move. I was thinking about dropping the skeleton army, but I didn't because I knew that mortar was coming back, and I wanted to get at it before it got too many shots off of the tower. So there you go. That was pretty well defended by me. Yay, go me from yesterday. That was smart. And now he follows that attack up with a couple of little squishies on the left, and I'm defending pretty well, but you can't just sit back and defend the whole time. You have to pick your spot to go offensive, because these rockets are eventually going to take my tower out if I just sit back on defense. So I have the witch down in the back from earlier. I drop another witch down there on the left. I drop a skeleton army down around it to protect her against those archers and the Inferno Tower. But the Inferno Tower goes down, and the arrows will definitely take out my skeleton army. So now I am dropping another elixir collector, just so that when the next elixir comes up, I have a defensive elixir collector to place there. So I knew the mortar was going to target that first elixir collector, so I dropped another one to make sure that when the mortar was up, since I didn't have anything to defend my towers with against the mortar, I wanted to make sure that they were going to shoot at those elixir collectors. So I put down an elixir collector and mirrored it to make sure that for the entire duration of that mortar's life, it was going to be shooting at those elixir collectors. So cool, I'm defending my side here. The barbarians are in, but the giant skeleton is there taking shots from those mortars instead of my tower. I dropped the skeleton bomber and the witch to take out his mortar, and the mortar's down again, and the giant skeleton's bomb goes off, and we're doing all right. You know, we have a little bit of life left on the tower. I was expecting that mortar to go down, but the match is over, and we tie against the mortar player, which I guess isn't so bad. Just try not to take a loss against mortar players. It's so annoying. But anyway, guys, offer still stands. With the first comment on any of my videos with a deck for me to use, the whole next video is going to be dedicated to it. So I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks for watching my video all the way to the end. Have a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow.